This is a great day for Brooklyn, for the organization, and for basketball. I think when you are building a team, if you can add players, you want to add players with a championship pedigree. The three players here, all champions, and sitting in the back and just talking to them, what they bring is not just basketball. They'll bring knowledge, they'll bring experience, they'll bring competitiveness, they'll bring toughness. But the best thing I think they're going to bring is their families and their friends to make this basketball organization a better one. I've watched Kevin play for a long time, and the examples that he set on the court and off the court is one that I think every team would want somebody to do that. You know, Paul has made big shots against us when I was in Philadelphia and Brooklyn, and he's won big games for Boston. And the Jet's been the premier sixth man. He's known how to score off the bench. He's played with Jason. But the biggest thing I think for us as an organization now, I think we've got pieces now that we can compete for a championship, and that's our goal. I'm not going to talk much longer because I'd rather have these guys talk, but it is a great day, and I'm happy to be able to introduce Kevin, Paul, and Jason to the fans of Brooklyn.
It's tough when you've been in a situation like me 15 years and you come to an organization as the Brooklyn Nets, but when you look at what they're trying to do here, win a championship, bring in the pieces necessary, new arena, new owners, new excitement, it really brings a little bit of excitement. Obviously, I would have loved to end my career in Boston, but that day and age is probably over with a lot of players ending their careers in one city. And I just, when the trade happened, you felt excited, especially with Kevin and Jason coming along, gonna make the situation not only for me but for each other a little more comfortable. And ultimate drive is winning a championship. Obviously, Boston is going in a different direction, and at this point in our careers, we're championship driven. We've made a lot of money in our careers. We've won a number of awards, and I think at this point right now, we're all about winning a championship, and Brooklyn, we feel, gives us the best opportunity.
What's up, Brooklyn? Yeah. No, I'm cool. Don't. No, it's very similar to what Paul said. I think he summed it up. So it's unfortunate that we had to obviously move, from Boston. But I feel like both sides are going in different directions. I think for me, one of the major reasons I decided to come here was because the bones of this. I feel like adding, what you see up here with the bones of what they have already with, Brooke and Darren and all the pieces they have here, Joe. I feel like Paul says, gives us the best option to win again and to win it all. I'm embracing this opportunity. My family's embracing this opportunity, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm just blessed, very honored to be here, obviously with another opportunity to compete for a championship. Played with Jason. I know he's going to do an outstanding job as a coach because he was already coaching his entire life, basically as a point guard. So I know we're going to be going in the right direction from day one. To be able to take another journey with these two outstanding gentlemen right here next to me is just an honor. I've been in Atlanta, Dallas, Boston, and now to be able to call Brooklyn my home, again, I'm just very blessed and honored and ready.
This already, but you obviously had the no trade clause. Were there any reservations about waiving that, and what was the determining factor there?
Paul touched on this a little bit. Obviously, having having Jet and having Paul with me was a really big issue. Obviously, you want to be in a position where you're comfortable. I don't know anyone that loves change, but change has to happen. For things to better, I believe that. And when I sat down and let the dust sort of settle, got all the facts of what it is, I didn't, that's when I made my decision on, all the options and what I was going to do. Sat with my family, took my time, and didn't rush. Actually wanted to sit and just, see how I felt about the whole thing of leaving Boston, change, retirement, how long you want to play, desire, and then made my decision on with a clear mind and with a clear head on what I wanted to do. And once I did that, here we are.
Guys, this is Tim Bondage from the New York Post. You all mentioned winning championship is the goal here. With the moves bringing you guys in, adding Andre Kirilenko and the other moves that have been made this summer, where do you see you guys stacking up in the Eastern Conference as we speak?
I think we're going to be right up there with the best of them. I mean, right now, you talk about Miami. Obviously, they're the champs. You look at what Chicago's doing, Indiana. And then I think you really got to take a close look at what we've been able to put together. When you put this type of talent on the floor, in order for it to come together, for us to be one of those top teams, that's what's got to happen. And I think, with me, Kevin, and Jet, along with Jason, we don't have any egos. We want to be one of those teams, and we feel like with the talent we got, we definitely are going to compete in the Eastern Conference and hopefully a championship.
Paul, for you, how long did it take to kind of get excited about this? Obviously, we know Kevin had some say about his future with the no trade. You didn't, and you've been in Boston longer. Was it hard to kind of get used to this idea, or are you used to it yet that you're moving on?
It hasn't really sunk in. I think it's really starting to sink in as we speak. Just being in this arena, I saw my jersey up in the locker room, and it's like, you saw the trade, and it was like, okay, there's a trade. But for me to actually be here now, looking for a place to live, being in this arena, trying to get to know my way around the city, it's really starting to sink in now that it's become real. I'm no longer a Boston Celtic. I'm a Brooklyn Net, and that's what it is right now. I mean, it's business. And at some point, we all have to move on. And, I'm here to try to create some kind of legacy here in Brooklyn.
Otis Livingston, CBS 2. Obviously, all the talk is about winning a championship, winning the Eastern Conference, but of course, a lot of people around here just want to know how you guys stack up against the Knicks. You got to win New York first. As you look at the team right now, as presently constituted, how do you guys stack up against the Knicks? Starting with Jason Kidd.
Should I revoke his press credential, Jason?
I thought this was for the players only. But I think, we're talking about a championship. And so no matter if it's, Miami, Chicago, Indiana, it's New York too. It is a nice rivalry here between the two of us. And, hopefully we can get the better of them this year. But, the big picture is that championship trophy. And that's what we're all up here, and that's what we stand for. And so, the side is that rivalry, and hopefully we can, win more games. We tied last year, so the big thing is just to win that rivalry. But the gold trophy is what we're here for.
You guys all talked about the championship potential of this situation that you're coming to. How does the roster setup make you feel that that's possible with the games you're bringing to the team?
Well, you not only can look at the names, but you got to look at what everybody brings. You got to look at the ability of the players. And when I look at that, I feel like we all kind of complement one another. I mean, you understand what Kevin brings. You know, he brings a defensive intensity, a know-how to win, a focus, a leadership. And you put him on the side of a Brook Lopez who's still learning the game, who's one of the best centers in the NBA, who's trying to get to Kevin's level. You know, in that sense alone, it helps the team. Me having experience being in the league 15 years, being next to Darren or Joe or some of the younger guys, just sharing my experience and what it took for us to win. And I think we understand sacrifice, and we feel like, you know, the guys that are here, Darren, Brooke, we want them to continue to be them. We want them to continue to be all-stars, possibly even MVP candidates. You know, we're here to help them. We're here to help each other to get that ultimate goal. And, you know, as the players we are, we feel like we have no choice but to make this work. So we're going to figure it out and make it work.
No sir, man. No sir.
Over here, Andrew Rosario, what's the 411 TV? Both of you guys are a little up there in age. How do you envision
How old are you,
minutes?
sir?
How old are you? Life to live. What are you talking about?
We're not going to do
There's
that.
50-year-olds and 60-years in the
But they're not playing basketball.
How can I be getting up there in age?
Now, how do you envision your minutes going through the season?
Or who?
Minutes.
Minutes, yeah.
You got to talk to the guy to the right of us.
All right, Jason. How do you envision handling their minutes throughout the season to make sure that they're fresh come the end of the season?
Well, you know, the best example is I just sat in that seat for these young guys. You know, being able to keep their minutes down, understanding the big picture, you know, but also at the same time, you know, our job is to win ball games during the season, but to keep their minutes down. And I think, you know, Billy has put together a roster that is deep, that, you know, these guys don't have to play, you know, 35 to 38 minutes a night. So that's a talent that, I mean, that's the depth that we have as a team. So my job is to watch the clock and keep these guys minutes down. And doing that, you know, maybe they won't play one night. But we'll talk about that as the summer goes on. But, you know, the bigger picture is for these guys to be healthy going into the playoffs.
So a surprise guest right at the end of this press conference, majority owner Mikhail Prokhorov making the trip in to greet Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, Jason Terry, the three newest members of the Brooklyn Nets. Andrei Kirilenko unable to attend this press conference, dealing with a personal matter. Kirilenko will be part of the mix, and a big part of it at that. Jimmy, a couple of takeaways from what we just heard. I think first and foremost, the headline for me, when they talked about the lack of egos at this stage of their respective career.
I picked out from the concept of checking your ego at the door, whether it's in a business
window to go for a championship. He's talked about winning a championship. That has been at the top of the list of everything that he said since buying this team. And look, you put your money where your mouth is. In Mikhail Prokhorov's case, he's done that.
And when he showed up just then, it relit that thought in my mind. And I'm thinking here saying, the owner shows up, which is a great this team. And I started to think to myself,
to the league, steps in and makes a bold statement. The reaction around the league had been, oh, come on.
Right.
How are you going to do that?
Exactly.
Your team's 12-70. Major step in that direction. Star